Thank you, Bodhi. I needed that. I'd like to start out reading from page 50 in the Sutra book on Zen by Dio Kokushi. There is a reality prior to heaven and earth. Indeed, it has no form, much less a name. Eyes fail to see it. It has no voice for ears to detect. To call it mind or Buddha violates its nature, for it then becomes like a visionary flower in the air. It is not mind or Buddha, absolutely quiet and yet illuminating in a mysterious way. It allows itself to be perceived only by the clear eye. It is Dharma, clearly beyond form and sound. It is Tao, having nothing to do with words. Wishing to entice the blind, the Buddha has playfully let words escape his golden mouth. Heaven and earth are ever since filled with entangling briars. All my good, worthy friends gathered here, if you desire to listen to the thunderous voice of the Dharma, exhaust your words, empty your thoughts, for then you may come to recognize the one essence. So I'm about to fill the space with entangling briars. Thanks for your patience here. I'll start out with a little introduction to myself. I know most of you though. Kevala Hoffmann in Milwaukee. I started practicing in 2002 and was ordained with Reishin in 2010. And I do about one Dharma talk annually, so bear with me here. And I kind of have summer allergies or something going on, so my voice is crackly. Yeah, and this is my emotional koan. Speaking up and being seen is totally my emotional koan. So Bodhi helped me to drop into something clearer through Qigong. I'm going to talk about practice today, and even though we're all really advanced practitioners, I need to hear it. So I want to start out saying that how fortunate we all are to have found a living practice lineage. You know, you can go into any bookstore and find a million books on Zen, and to find a group of people who are actually practicing together with a teacher is a fortunate circumstance. So we all have good karma in that way. And, you know, people come and go. This may not be your sangha, this may not be your gig, but in the searching, some of us have found help in the sangha. So just hats off to having found a living practice. And we all carry it forward. You know, it's not just Jumpo, it's every one of us. And I'm really struck this morning by the talent and the practice in the sangha that we have here today. So some of the reasons that we come to practice, a lot of people come because they're suffering greatly. Marriages fall apart, financial circumstances, you lose your money, you lose your job, your kid is sick. Or it can be, as Corinne was referencing this morning, like looking at the world and wondering what the fuck is going on here, you know. For me, I started studying Ayurveda, and my teacher had a guru, and I was like, what is this whole guru thing, and what are you getting from a guru? And then I had been exposed to Zen, and when I found Jumpo, who was a second cousin of mine, he came to Wisconsin and was teaching in Wisconsin, and I thought, well, I guess this is my path, my teacher right here from me. So, you know, we find it in any way we can, and I've recently been rereading a book that Junpo recommends, Why Buddhism is True, by, I think it's Robert Wright. Is that the name? Yeah. And he says that he studied evolutionary psychology, and he really understands the problem deeply that we have. You know, we're trapped in this ego that evolved to take care of itself and defend itself. And we can't, it's really difficult to get beyond that. And with all of his understanding about that in his head, he didn't have a way to transcend it, to get through that, to transform the understanding. So having this practice is really a critical thing, I believe. You know, we have a practice that's been brought down through the generations, and it's morphing as we speak. Like it's morphing this morning as we're doing Sunday Sangha online, doing Qigong online, ringing bells online. I don't think the Buddha would have foreseen that. So coming to practice, it's like the mind is looking for something. The mind is looking to get something. It might be, I think these are mistaken understandings in the beginning maybe, but somebody can come looking for enlightenment. You know, I'm going to go and I'm going to get enlightened. What do I have to do to get enlightened? And some people come because they're entranced by the wizard. You know, the wizard is there and he's gonna help me transform this. And it's all work we have to do on our own. And pretty soon we see that the wizard is just a normal guy with a big curtain in front of him. You know? That was one of the, I think I had a lot of dreams in the beginning of practice. And one of them was Junpo as being the Wizard of Oz. You know, here's this, I could see the human being, and then I could see the presence there too. But in the West, you know, we have this belief that we are independent and we can do it all on our own and we can figure it out. But there's definitely benefit to having a wizard helping us on the path. And it's not pretty all the time. You know, it's showing us what we don't want to see about ourselves. I think another mistaken understanding is that we're going to get rid of the ego. And any of you who've studied Mondo Zen realize that it's a transformation of having the ego take a back seat, a little bit of a back seat, you know, seeing through from clarity and using the ego as a tool instead of letting it run our lives and be defended all the time. So what is practice and what are we getting out of practice? In a way, it's this practice is really boring. You know, it's like you're not going to get anything sitting on the cushion that you didn't already come with. Paying attention to just what's in front of us, what is here in front of us, with nothing added, nothing special, and just watch the mind, how much it wants to entertain itself with falling asleep or making up stories about stuff. So this practice, Junpo has translated it into the 5 training elements. It's really the Eightfold Path. So we work with the mind in philosophical reorientation, reindoctrination, by understanding why we're on the cushion, you know, making that shift from strictly from ego, running the show, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get enlightened, to a more surrendered practice of clear awareness, seeing through the ego. And like Sosan just came out of the monastery, and there's definitely a shift in him from having done so much meditation that you can really sense it when you're around him. So I encourage you to all get some time with Sosan. And Tozan too, he was there. What were you there, a year, Tozan? So you can sense a shift in anyone who's done that much meditation practice. Okay, so philosophical reorientation, genuine insight, your Zazen practice, stabilizing the mind so that it's focused on what's here in front of you instead of dancing around and leaving all the time, going into ideas, thoughts, making up stories about stuff. Can you just stay with what's in front of you? And the Zazen practice is translated into the emotional koan. Can you stay with the discomfort, the contraction, when your trauma gets triggered? Can you just stay with what's happening and stay out of the story? I mean, I dare you to do that. I can't do it. So it's coming back again and again and again to when the body gets triggered and you're frazzled and you're contracted and you're protecting yourself, can you just drop that and see what's actually going on and ask yourself what's going on in front of me? And part of it is seeing your habitual reaction to it. Mine is pulling away, like, fuck it, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. So embodiment practice, the Qigong yoga is critical to this. You know, after finding Junko's practice and seeing that he was a yogi, I started practicing Iyengar yoga. And clearly saw after years of practice how the body is, how the contractions, this ego contraction that we understand from Mondo, you know, this fist clenched, it's in the body, you know, and you get to find that if you're paying attention through yoga practice. You get to find all those contractions. What I love about Qigong is you're not so much working with the contraction, you're just moving the Qi through it, you know, and softening. It's a soft approach to finding the flowing energy in the body and the action. So I found this quote from a Michael Stone book that I have. He passed away now, but he was a yogi and a Buddhist. And he found this expression from the Buddha called, I think it's Yoniso Manaskara, something like that. And it's called keeping your attention right where things are being born. Like everything is being born right now, right in front of us. It's not in the head, it's not somewhere else. We might think it is, but everything is being born right now in front of us. Can we stay with the aliveness right here? And sacred stewardship, which is the first of the training elements. I skipped over that. To me, this is the biggest koan right now. Like, how do I responsibly interact with the world, which feels like it's out there, but it's really not. And with the world burning right now, as it is my carrying eating utensils to the restaurant going to really help, you know, Louisiana, who's underwater right now, or, you know, Europe, who is just super overheated, you know, high temperatures. I don't know what's going to help, but it's really not about fixing something. It's about our relationship with the environment. So sacred stewardship was kind of one of the big sells for me when I found Mondo, because it's really important to me. So it's like, oh, cool, you know, this is a priority in this order. So having found a Sangha to practice in, it's up to us to do the practice. And what you find through opening up through practice is that, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, you had the ruby slippers all along. You have the path to awakening in you. It's not coming from somewhere outside. It's here. Everybody has it. You know, we all find it. We're fortunate to have a practice path that is ancient, and it's up to us to actually do the practice. That's the downside. We haven't become free of anything. Awareness was always free. And through the practice, we realize and become comfortable with, we can rest in the impersonal and the impermanent. You know, that it becomes okay. Pema Chodron has a quote that you become comfortable with uncertainty. So by holding the mind steady, you start to identify with the part of you that's witnessing what's going on, instead of being pulled off by all the circumstances and my opinion about the circumstances. So we start to rest in this deeper awareness that can be comfortable with the chaos going on around us. Not to say that we don't take action, but we take action from this place that is the site of everything that's being born right now. So thank you for your attention.
Wow.